What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, keeping you up to date on all the latest wrestling news, rumors, and reports. Today, we're talking all the latest coming out of SmackDown and AEW Rampage debut. A couple of brand new champions coming out of those shows. John Cena heated battle with Roman Reigns. All of his AEW and CM Punk reference, which got the community talking about. The latest details in regards to CM Punk. How many times will we see him wrestle on AEW, and more on that potential contract, update on a certain top superstar possibly leaving WWE, and more of the latest. So you guys already know to not miss any of the coverage. Make sure to have those notifications turned on, and if you are new, consider subscribing to the channel for all of our WWE 2K22 content and wrestling news coverage just like this. This Friday we got the first episode of AEW Rampage, and AEW definitely delivered on it. We ended up getting 3 big title matches, and in the opening match we had Kenny Omega versus Christian for the Impact Wrestling World title. An instant classic, Christian Cage is back as a champion. We then got Miro defeating Fuego del Sol, and Fuego del Sol actually getting a contract, so the losing streak lives on, but this time he just won a contract. And for the main event, it was Brie Baker versus Velvet, with Brie Baker picking up the victory. But now that that first episode of AEW Rampage is over, we are focused on next week's First Dance, which is going down on Chicago, and this is the rumor episode of AEW Rampage where CM Punk could be debuting on AEW. If it is gonna happen, this is probably gonna be the place that it will, and everything seems to be leading towards that. And now we got more details in regards to how often CM Punk will wrestle for AEW, because at this point CM Punk certainly seems like he is headed to the black and gold brand, and everybody basically knows it. The company been teasing it a lot, even Darby Allin saying that he can't wait to get face to face with the best in the world, so it's only a matter of time. Now Ringside News is adding some extra details indicating that CM Punk inked a deal with AEW that will see him be on television nearly every single week. They also added that CM Punk will wrestle for AEW 10 to 12 times a year. That is the current deal, but he could always agree to wrestle more often. CM Punk generally does what he wants to do, and obviously because him going to AEW is a big deal, AEW is gonna give him what he wants. This amount of wrestling time is actually perfect, because when you look at AEW's pay-per-view schedule, they only got the 4 big ones and then a lot of other special events. So that means that CM Punk will likely be on every single pay-per-view, build up towards those feud, and still at least wrestle once a month on AEW Dynamite, so it works out perfectly for him. It's worth mentioning that CM Punk has received a ton of praises as he trained for the Stars show Heels, which is wrestling related, so he needed to get rid of that quote-unquote wrestling rust, and it looks like he is ready for that big return. AEW Rampage on Chicago next week, I'm looking at you. And that's not the only talk we got about CM Punk today, because John Cena dropped a fire promo on SmackDown, and he ended up refereeing CM Punk. We'll talk about that in a bit though, when we are rounding up what went down on the Friday show. Before all of that, some quick news regarding Adam Cole. It was reported in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter that Adam Cole's meeting with Vince McMahon on last Friday night SmackDown was said to have gone well, with the writing team told to come up with ideas for him on the main roster, because as soon as Adam Cole signed this brand new deal, if he does, he is headed to Raw or SmackDown. It is worth mentioning though that the report indicated that Adam Cole has not decided on what he is going to do just yet. It is still possible that he could be done with WWE by SummerSlam weekend. We know that Adam Cole has a great relationship with Shawn Michaels and Triple H, but of course that is NXT. When he moves up to the main roster, he's not really going to be working that much with them. He's going to have to deal with Vince McMahon and how things are run on the main roster. So all of this is certainly very interesting, and the closer we get to SummerSlam, the more it feels like Adam Cole is going to be leaving WWE. According to the reports, AEW hasn't made any offer to him just yet, because of course he's still on the contract, but maybe Adam Cole is trying to wait after SummerSlam so that he can hear that offer and see what decision he wants to make. break. SmackDown this week opened up with a heated promo between Roman Reigns and John Cena, and there was a lot of heated lines going from one to the next. John Cena told Roman Reigns that he is the only person who can shut Roman Reigns up after Roman Reigns has been pushed for over a decade. He went on to talk about winning the title for the 17th time so that he could go on and make history. Roman Reigns said that he's not going to bury John Cena, and he even called him arguably the greatest of all time. He's done things that no one else has done before, but that he is good enough to be WWE champion, but not Universal champion. He added that 20 years of missionary was good for him, but it wasn't good enough for Nikki Bella. Reigns has said that he will pack John Cena up and send him back to Hollywood, and that this is probably the last time that we get to see John Cena. And then John Cena got fired up and got the best out of Roman Reigns. He basically got the last laugh on this one. It is John Cena after all. He is just so good when it comes to these promos. Cena said that Roman Reigns almost ruined Seth Rollins and that he ran Dean Ambrose out of the WWE, which of course the crowd popped heavy for. John Cena even needed to pause there because the reaction was big. John Cena then went on to add that he might just pull a CM Punk, get the title, run out of the arena, and maybe blow a kiss. He specifically said the following: Roman, you are going to put on a hell of a show, but I'm just gonna hang in there for 1, 2, 3. And then I'm gonna take your title, jump the barricade, and run out of the Allegiant Stadium as fast as I can. I may even blow you a kiss goodbye, which is everything CM Punk did over a decade ago. CM Punk actually reacted to the promo, adding a meme of Voldemort in his Instagram story, which usually stands for who know who, or the guy that cannot be named. That of course being CM Punk in WWE. To add to all of this, John Cena also posted an image of CM Punk on his Instagram, and this was the image of CM Punk blowing the kiss after beating Cena at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and of course walking out. So a heck of a promo right there. Roman Reigns took it like a champ, and overall it was a good back and forth between them, with Cena ultimately getting the last laugh. As for what else we got on SmackDown, we got a brand new champion as King Nakamura defeated Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental Championship. The Street Profit defeated Otis and Chad Gable. Seth Rollins promised to stomp Edge into the mat at SummerSlam after he gave us a really good video package demonstrating why he has done better things than Edge, and he is not Edge light. We had the Mysterio defeating Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. The Usos try to interfere on this one, or I should say try to distract the Mysterios in the big screen, but it didn't work out. Kevin Owens defeated Baron Corbin. If Baron Corbin would have won this match, he would have gotten $1,000 from KO, but obviously that didn't happen. And now Baron Corbin had to stop begging people for money because that was one of the stipulations for this match. Afterwards, in a backstage segment, we have Baron Corbin stealing the Money in the Bank briefcase from Big E. He literally ran away with it, and all I'm saying is WWE better not screw over Big E. We had Sasha Banks, Carmella, and Selena Vega attacking Bianca Belair during the contract signing main event segment. Carmella and Selena Vega look to be joining Sasha Banks, so they helped her out here, which works out because they got some revenge against Bianca, as Bianca beat them like a million times over the last month and a half. So that is all the wrestling news, all the coverage that we got for you guys on this roundup. If you guys enjoy or found it informative, don't forget to elbow drop it and hit those notifications to continue being up to date. I'll catch you on the next one, so stay savage.